everybody, just calm down.
Girl, just calm down.
It was fine.
I think compared to the other episodes, it was just like,
I mean, depending on how messy you are and how much you pick apart shit, that's how
that's
I
true.
felt.
Yeah.
Because I actually, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. This particular episode, I'll put it like this. I think we've had episodes from other outside of Salt Lake City. We've had what would feel like a filler episode in other
Mhm.
franchises that I'm like, oh my god, this sucks.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about it.
Hmm.
Atlanta, I feel, even though this was kind of a filler episode, it still was funny. It still was a good episode.
That's true. Yeah, and I wouldn't even call it a filler episode per se. I would say like more so like a setup episode. Like I feel like this whole
Yes.
episode was like a
Fair.
setup for next week. And I think
That
just
is
because
fair.
every episode has been so impactful. So I mean, eventually, we had to have a kind of quiet episode, I guess.
No, fair.
That's fair.
The girls really haven't had any bad things to say about Atlanta. I've been looking. No one's saying like what's going on. But I will say one thing that a lot of people are saying. Now, Bravo, can we rework Roni? Because if you see this worked for Atlanta, keeping some old and bringing in some new, then maybe you shouldn't have scrapped it. And damn sure don't do that for Jersey. Because there were some
Oh no,
sneaky rumblings.
Jersey's a mess though, but that's a family affair. That goes way deeper. Like it's like blood. We're talking about siblings in Jersey. It's nasty.
But I think the new people that they had on the last season, I thought they were good additions.
See, again, because of the alliances there, it depends on. See, one girl was for Tree and the other girl was for Melissa. And we know that in New Jersey, that actually doesn't work. You either ride with Tree. If you're going to ride with Tree, you'll make it. If you side with Melissa, I promise you, you won't make it. It's unfortunate, but you won't make it.
Oof, Lord, not the mob.
One
But
thing I will say,
go ahead.
I have seen a little bit of discourse about Atlanta, which I'm sick of seeing. The only thing I'm sick of seeing is that Team Swirl Kenya's gone. Get over it. Like
Yeah,
she's
no, she was
gone.
gone.
Like we can't complain about this. Y'all did Kenya like that. And now they're complaining about the after show. And y'all brought Phaedra back. Like get over it. Like the season is done.
The season finale.
Yeah, like,
they were calling it the season finale.
Yeah, like enough.
Yeah, and we did not miss her this episode. Let's just be real, FYI.
Well, there's a certain newbie called Angela who just is clocking in.
Listen, yeah, bye. Well, I mean, first, how's everyone doing? We kind of just jumped straight in.
We did.
Right, we did.
Good. Typical Monday. I was recovering a little bit, but I'm feeling great.
Cute.
What else is new?
I don't know. I was celebrating birthday. Like April is a birthday month because I spent the whole weekend celebrating other people's birthdays.
Interesting. Well, I love that for you, Fred. Very chill for me. I actually did nothing. I was child's free. Spring break actually started, so I was actually at my own rodeo.
Yes.
Disgusting. Yuck. My week was full of ducking and dodging. Trying my hardest to not be seen. Yeah. And I don't know who watches this, so I can't really go any further. But yeah.
Ducking and dodging is something I will never get over.
Nice.
So you was acting like Angela and Neiman's?
Honey,
pretty much.
I had my brandy glasses on. Girl, it was a thing. And like she said, how can you be inconspicuous at Neiman's on a Saturday? It doesn't work that way. But girl, I was working it, honey. The universe had my back, child. He said, "You will not see Broken Home." Yeah.
Shout out to the Master Whisperers.
Hello.
Right.
And ears to the street.
Girl, let me tell you. So, guys, thank you for tuning in to Everybody Just Calm Down the podcast. I'm your boy, Po Theory.
I'm Jared.
And I'm Cowgirl.
Oh.
I cannot. Oh, girl. It's a little choppy, but whatever. I know it's going to come through fine. But make sure you keep that phone open so it uploads fully this time. Ho. Anywho, so we are here to review the Real Housewives of Atlanta,
Ooh,
episode 7, right? We're in episode 7.
we episode 7.
Wow. Okay. Cute. Season 16, episode 7. Yeah. So I writing notes when we start an episode off with 3 scenes happening at one
Oh, I
time.
hate it.
Yeah.
So I kind of I broke the scenes down by their own individual scenes, and then we can just bust through them real quick. So I started it off with Britt. Britt and Mike, they are at the car dealership. My first note is Britt is such a liar. You're such a liar, Camille. She is such a liar. And the more I did not hear the nasally voice that y'all talked about. I don't it's crazy. I never heard it. Y'all was complaining about it, and I'm like, she just sounds like a girl to me. Girl, this episode, it was on 12. I was just like, is this what y'all been hearing the past 6 episodes?
Yes. Yeah, and we've been annoyed. And I'll watch What Happens Live. Actually, every press, all the press that she's ever done, it sounds like that. I'm like, can they turn her mic down or something?
Yeah. Listening to her gives me a sinus headache.
Absolutely.
Oh my God.
Oh yeah, it's all in here, right in the top of the head. Yeah.
Jesus. I just find it really interesting that off the heels of everything that happened with Kenya, I'm losing my license and people are looking at me like I'm a whore and all of these things. But then in front of a man you don't know at a car dealership, you kick your leg all the way up outside the car. That help me understand that. How even without the drama of it all, I think that's extremely inappropriate to do that with another front of another man with your husband there. Call me crazy. Jared, listen. You stay out of this.
Even outside of my situation, I don't know. I don't see that deal.
Oh, sweetie, and we do not condone violence, right? And I will say, I ain't never had nobody go upside my head. But what I will say, the way Weez would have broke my leg on the top of the car, and we would have snatched me out. We wouldn't have bought nothing, man. Nothing. That would have not been good. I promise you that. And you can at that moment, their marriage was almost legitimate. Because the way he was like, you're doing too much. I was like, I got scared because I was like, oh my God. Because I know, girl, you lifted your leg up like that for that man. You do that. Yeah,
she's
that
a
scared
mess.
me.
Yeah.
But then, go ahead, Jared.
I'm just so over her constantly trying to prove that she has some coin.
Yeah.
Do we know if she left a lot with anything? And then it's just so it just reminded me of the sauna comment all over again. Just can you told me I can get a new car every 2 years. Girl, shut up.
Is that a lease? Because you got to lease something every 2 years.
Exactly.
Girl, stop. Next.
She's a mess. But basically they pull off to the side. Well, not pull off to the side, but I guess after the car salesman walks away, they bring up, and which is so crazy. I find it interesting. I almost feel like Mike is better at moving the storyline along than she is. He says, so what's going on with you and Angela? The way he did that, I was just like, okay, give Mike a peach.
Well, he's definitely better than Charles.
Hello.
Yeah, hello.
Looking dead in the camera and saying, but why we got to talk about this again? She basically says that Angela, first of all, how she ran down the whole story was just okay, first of all, that did not happen that way.
Delusional.
That's one. And then she says that Angela lacks empathy. I'm not exactly sure how she came to that conclusion about Angela. We are really starting to see how Britt does not have any female friends. Angela only asked a question. You decided to take offense by it. Mm-hmm. And then now in this episode, you're bringing up the fact that Charles had a baby on her.
Now,
how did we get here so quickly?
No, yeah, I wrote down the exact same thing. It's not an eye for an eye. It doesn't make sense. Angela's asking you a legitimate question about your license because what you were saying didn't make sense from that standpoint. That has absolutely nothing to do with Angela's marriage, Charles' kid, whatever. It's you just went from 0 to 100 over some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Right. You made the story up. Well, you didn't make the story up. You just kind of elaborated a couple of things on it. And again, it definitely wasn't an eye for eye. It was very messy. But I do like how you planted the seed on being messy and throwing shade because, again, that's not the worst thing that a housewife has done. This is not the first time a girl has a housewife has thrown some information out there. Another housewife did not receive it, and then they threw something back nasty. So when she flipped around and said that, what I did was I completely forgot why she was mad from the beginning. I started actually Googling and fact checking. I actually think they both had kids on each other. That's the real tea.
Mm.
Yeah. Well, they did say that they had that big gap, but that was already the tea prior to her putting it out there. Because there was a whole thing about, because apparently she has a relationship with Wendy Williams.
Yes.
So when her husband had the baby, when Wendy's husband had the baby with her, Angela, unbeknownst to us, having a relationship with Wendy, was like, girl, me and Charles got through that. You can get through it, or whatever the case may be. The only thing that I disagree with you on, Danielle, with that is, and agreeing with Jared, is like, it didn't call for that. Like, none of, like, that was putting that information out there. It just did not call for that. It made no sense, which is, again, very similar to her whole thing with Kenya. Like, all from her side, none of it ever makes any sense. So then we move on to Angela and Drew scene.
Lying. That girl gonna lie. That girl gonna lie.
Lenny lie.
That girl gonna lie.
Lenny gonna lie, child. Girl. Drew walks in and says, "Is that how you say my cousin's tequila?"
Oh, girl, that girl's embarrassing.
Angela immediately says, I spoke to Marcus. Flex, by the way. Major flex. Yeah, I spoke to Marcus and he said that y'all are not related. Drew says, child, you knew I was joking. What a liar.
First of all, they carried that joke out from when she said it. It was like, girl, that ain't really your cousin. She was like, no, really. My mother's maiden name.
Yes.
Why did you even say the whole shit about your mother's maiden name?
She doubled down. She doubled down in that flashback.
I don't know, though. I'm low-key starting to kind of live for Drew's line just because it's hilarious.
Okay. All right. So, all right. I'm going to hold it. I'm going to hold it for a certain part. But it's starting to change for me. Like, this episode kind of shifted my...
for me.
I actually have notes on Drew's scenes. Like, I was like, okay, what's going on here?
Same.
Drew and Angela both agreed that they feel like Britt should have been a little bit more humble coming into that dinner. I agree with that 100%. I'm getting the vibe from Britt, and I think we said on the last episode that she's doing that thing where, let's say, me and Jared fall out, Danielle's in the middle. I am not only telling my side, but my goal is to make Danielle take my side versus just explaining my side. And it's almost like she is relishing in Kenya's demise.
Oh yeah.
And I don't like that. And I know a lot of people say, but Kenya did this to her. Yeah, but Kenya ain't do it out of nowhere. Like, this girl was picking with her and threatening. Like, it came from something. Don't get me wrong. Yes, we know Kenya put a 10 on. Kenya went far out there. But at the end of the day, my guy, like, come on.
It wasn't because she stepped on that lady toe by accident.
Right.
Let's be real.
Yeah.
I don't know. It is very interesting that you say that, because the way that she talks about Kenya and no one else is really trying to bring it up, and she's still wanting to know if the girl's even key with her. I think that's a little weird. And again, we said this from the beginning. It's obsessive. Jared and I said it, actually. We were like, yeah, it's giving obsessed, girl. Why are you so fixated on she's here and I'm not? But girl, you're still the fact that you have this, the fact that you have to say that you're here shows that Kenya still has a place somewhere.
Oh, exactly.
You don't have to say that.
Unfortunately, in the moment, she doesn't recognize when they're filming. None of us know anything that's happening. She doesn't know an audience reaction. So in this moment, she really believes she's winning.
Yeah.
I'm sure the tide is turned crazy right now for her. Like, that energy is completely different now. Drew then lets Angela know that she received a text from Britt inviting her out. And then Drew mocks her voice. I think when Drew mocked her voice, that's when I started to hear it. And I'm like, oh my God, I hear it now.
Girl, what were you hearing before?
I have no idea. I will say this. This was the beginning of me changing my viewpoint on Drew when she started to mock her and her. Well, I guess we'll get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Angela tells Drew about the trip, about Porsha's trip, and it essentially extends the invite to Drew without Porsha's permission. How y'all feel about that?
Don't like it.
I mean, in real life, I'm a hater. For the show, I love it.
Right.
Right. No, but that is fair though. I feel like for the show, obviously it is funny, but in all actuality, girl, first of all, birthdays are very personal.
Yeah.
Don't you ever in your life, first of all, when you barely got an invite, don't you dare try to invite somebody else. So let's be
that's a
real.
fact.
Let's be real.
No.
You really got invited because we're castmates.
Right. Like, I don't even like somebody asking for a +1 to come to my fucking brunch. Like, let alone the trip.
Right.
I think +1s, like, I used to, as a person that, yeah, no, I agree with that.
Not for a birthday. Any other time is fine, but for my birthday, especially for me, because I'm very intentional about who I invite to my birthday. Because
Exactly.
Yeah, you are.
surrounded like by certain people. And
Yeah.
you know, certain +1s are fine. I mean, significant others maybe, but you just want to bring your random friend just because like they have nothing to do that Sunday. No.
Right. It's weird.
No,
And
I agree.
don't fuck with you.
Fair. So then we move on to Cynthia Kelly and Porsha. Are we in a pandemic? Are there no stylists, hairstylists? What the is happening with Cynthia's confessionals?
But you look better.
You mean the red look? You didn't like that?
Yeah,
The wig?
The wig was a hot fucking mess. I'm sorry. That was like, I felt like she looked like she had a wig off of Baddies. Like, it was just, it looked cheap. I did, like, Cynthia, like, you gotta I'm talking to y'all. Like, when I say you gotta understand, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to the people that are gonna be watching us. You have to understand that Cynthia, I know we do the whole little Beverly Hills thing with Doree and Erica, but I'm sorry. It has always been Cynthia. Cynthia has always been the one and the two.
Yeah, Cynthia's that girl.
What is happening? Is it the weight? Because I did go through a little something when I gained weight and I just felt like nothing looked good. So I just like, fuck it. But like, what's happening?
Her weight looks great. I mean,
she's not comfortable with it then. She's not comfortable with it then. Because I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, I don't know what it is either. I don't know if she's just buying wigs on a budget or something is off.
Well, she did say that, you know, that she said the older men want the younger women and the young guys, they like the old women. Now we all know young men don't be caring about no hairstyle, no fix up. They care about the body. So, you know, they don't care about wig. An older gentleman, a man of a particular age, is going to be like, I want your hair fixed up. I want your nails done. Young men don't care about that. They want to see body. They say TT.
Do you think so? I really think it's kind of like the... No, because, okay, let me tell you something. There's this new trend going on in Atlanta where the men, like in heterosexual relationships, I'm sorry, I don't believe in this. I don't believe in the man looking better than the woman. That is crazy. When I see that blows my brain. And it's not because I like boys. It's because it's like legitimately, I can appreciate. I know when a woman looks great. I probably know more when a woman looks good than a man because, you know, just the whole fashion thing. But so many guys was eating up their girlfriends when I was out this weekend. It was like, did y'all? Yeah, you just allow her to walk out like this, and he looking like that? Like how? Like it just confused me, child.
The body and the personality.
Fair. So, anybody else gagged that Porsha just refuses to knock on anyone's door or ring their doorbell? She just lets herself in. Like, first I thought it was just Shamia.
I keep not even noticing this. It's so funny that I never pay attention to this.
Girl, like, she just always let her in. Because you remember Kelly was like, oh, who is that? Who just let themselves in here? Who is security?
But you know, now that I think about it, if I go into an event at somebody's house, specifically like a party or anything like that, I will just let myself in if the door's open.
We had this conversation earlier.
I don't know. It depends. It depends at if the party started, if the party is from, let's say it's a time party, if the party's from 8 to 12 If I get there at 8:30, I'm knocking. If I get there at 9:30, I'm walking in because it's already popping.
That's fair.
I'm knocking. Ain't nobody let me in.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna let myself in.
See, again, I feel like we've had this conversation, and what I would say is we're at the big age where if we're going to someone's house at this point and we're going to an event, I'm walking in. You having a party?
Ooh,
Hello.
girl, getting shot.
Well, Aaron, I would
It's
not be
giving.
walking into your house.
Oh, hello.
Well, you
Who
got
the- Hey, you heard him.
I know.
You heard him. Yeah, good job, boo boo.
No,
I
that's
know,
crazy.
right? Yeah, he heard you. He
Mhm.
said, "Oh,
Okay.
you know."
We know what house not to
He
visit.
said, "You gonna learn today."
Hello. It's okay,
Okay.
boo boo. It's okay. He ain't coming. A little annoyed by like. First of all, I get Shamia has something very similar to Kelly when they pop up on the screen. I love how Kelly and Shamia are interacting with each other. I love when they greet each other. My only issue with Shamia, don't you ever wear Chanel that big and wear Louis Vuitton that big and match. Like, I just cannot stay like those labels like that. It bothers.
Yeah, those are crazy.
It's so Atlanta. That was
Yeah.
so Atlanta. Oh God, that was so Atlanta.
She came in with all that and did with the big ass ace of spade bottle.
Actually,
I said, girl, I
I'm
know
sorry.
That
Let me take that back. That's not Atlanta. That's Decatur. That was Decatur. That was not Atlanta. I'm not putting that on Atlanta. That was Decatur.
Not my birth town.
Sorry, girl.
See,
You know how y'all do it out there.
I was saying the whole state of Georgia, but okay, we want to get technical. Go ahead. Next.
I don't even got time to drag Jersey, but whatever. So we finally get an explanation as to why Kelly's dog is, colored the way colored and dyed the way it is. Child, I'm sorry, girl, put a chip in that bitch.
Kelly got the craziest stories. Like, what is going on?
Yes.
He really does. I was gonna ask y'all because I'm not a pet mom. Wait, so you guys both have animals, you guys have pet children. Would you ever do anything, not saying you would go as extreme as how Kelly's dog is, but would you add little trinkets to your doggies?
Absolutely not.
You think it's
Only a woman
stupid?
with a character flaw would do such a thing.
Oh my God. Drag her. I will say this. Whoever that little queen is, her confessional producer, that was like, it's crazy that you said it's cruelty free. Meanwhile, you rocking a fur. Girl, that gags me real good.
That day got
They bring up the whole brunch thing, and I'm trying my hardest to separate the fact that we all know that nobody, except for it looks like just Porsha and Phaedra, deals with Britt now. I am trying my hardest to let Kelly slide, but I didn't like when she said that Angela and Drew came in as Team Twirl. I ain't get that vibe. I feel like they gave more context, the other side of it. Well, more so Drew than Angela. Angela just asked a question that had nothing to do with Kenya.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. To me, they came off super neutral. Granted, of course, there could have been a lot of stuff cut out that we didn't see. But from what we saw, they weren't giving Team Toro. It was given just very much like in the middle and what the happened.
Facts.
I thought the statement in general was weird. Like uncalled for.
Yeah, I didn't like that. I didn't like that. I know this is like a common theme with me, but yes, again, I have to keep saying this. Yes, Kenya escalated it. But at the end of the day, like I feel like Kelly is focusing really hard on the second part of it and not really paying attention to like the first part of this thing that she's made up in her brain that Kenya was doing to her. That was not the case. So then Cynthia asked Porsha about Drew, and Porsha basically says that she's done with it. She doesn't care. And Cynthia, knowing Petty P, girl, you're not really done with it. You still care and all that stuff. They do the flashback. And again, Angela just standing on business in that flashback while they on Zoom. Like, well, I don't see my Chi-Town friend. Like, why you ain't got her on here? Like, she's just that girl. Like, Angela's really just... Yeah, she's that girl. I'm feeling this. I'm feeling Angela. And so then we move on to the Why are you making that face? You don't like Angela?
He's not really like you guys are really like obsessed, kind of, and I'm like not really sold. Like I see I see messy Bigfoot and no,
Size
I
12 to be
see
exact.
standing on
Exactly. She can
business
stand up and
too.
she can stand on her own.
Oh, 2V. Yeah, no, she can stand on her own 2V. Absolutely, with a fan. But what I'm saying is, certain things she does just kind of rubs me the wrong way. Like, more on a personal level. For TV, I love. But again, I could also see Angela not having a lot of girlfriends that she could say. I could see her having a lot of acquaintances and people knowing who she is. But I would love to see 5 of her closest friends that she's been friends with for
Whoa.
over 10 years.
That's interesting because I feel like only a weak bitch would say something like that.
Whoa.
Sweet bitch.
Ew.
I feel like
The girl
it's
with a
like, to
hey.
me, I don't understand. I just don't understand that sentiment because I feel like she's very direct up front. She doesn't hold back her words or mince her words. I think to have a friend like that would be perfect. I honestly think everything that you just said, outside of me saying it was bullshit, is really pot meat kettle. Because bitch, that's you.
Bitch, what?
You know, bitches never like themselves.
Woof.
You know that's how I go.
It's
Oh
rough
my
in
god!
here
And then I
today.
see. But you know what's so crazy to me? First of all, you're fucking lying. So that's number one. Number two, I'm just saying, see, this is when you're gay. This is when your gay male kind of senses come into play because you don't see what the girls really do behind closed doors. You're seeing, oh yeah, no, size 12 standing on business. No, no, no. I see someone who likes to start, but
Oh,
then
well, yes.
makes it a little jokey joke, and it actually lands. That's what I
Oh,
see.
well, yeah.
I
But I
feel like she
think,
hasn't met her match. Really, between how she has her snarl remarks. I like it, I do enjoy it, but what I'm saying is I don't think she met her match.
okay. All right. So then we move into the montage. Kelly teaching her daughter how to drive. Shamia in the studio.
Ugh.
Cynthia being gagged that Porsha is really getting a divorce. I'm not sure why she's gagged. Um, but then we move on to Drew and Britt having a sit down. Them trying to find common ground by saying they both like lemon drops is crazy. That's like literally, besides espresso martini, lemon drops are one of the most popular drinks out right now.
Right.
Everybody
Literally,
drinks them.
absolutely.
Britt annoyed me so bad in this scene. We had already mentioned it, but it's almost like I said, it's like she wants everyone to hate Kenya. Like
Mm-hmm.
she just needs, instead of, like, when you know you right, you don't really need nobody to back you up like that.
Mm-hmm.
And for me, she kind of knows that she's not on strong footing.
Yeah.
And this is where it starts more and more me starting to like Drew. I love her having Kenya's back.
Mm-hmm.
She was
Mm-hmm.
direct, and I think this is probably the issue that I'm noticing that I had with Drew. Drew was having issues in other seasons with people. Like remember she was having issues with Kenya and like different juggernauts. She came at Candy, and it was like, girl, you're not on that level. Like, relax. And I think
Mm-hmm.
her standing up for Kenya in this scene and then kind of like pushing back on Britt in the way that she is, it made me like her. Now, again, it could be that that Dorit versus Kyle thing, where I know a little piece of me liking Dorit so much this season was because she was coming at Kyle, and no one's ever really
Yeah.
came at Kyle like that.
Yeah.
So, the jury's still out how I feel about Drew.
Well,
That's
also,
fair.
this was kind of the first time this season we've really seen Drew interact with somebody else on the cast. It's really just been
Oh,
her and
fair.
Mm-hmm.
Porsha, and then her and Porsha, her and Ralph, and her and Dennis. Really, she hasn't really interacted with any of the other ladies until
Right.
now, I feel.
No, that's fair. And honestly, from this scene and then to her later scenes throughout the show, it was almost authentic. Like we were like,
Yeah.
okay, girl, you're a regular person. You're not a robot. You're not trying to fish information out just because you're not using it for good or evil. You're like, okay, you're genuinely asking the questions that the people want to know, and good for you. And then break,
Asking
and then
her,
yeah, yeah, that was messy.
asking her if she sold the cat was crazy.
It's
Then
it's always
go
wild
ahead.
when you ask a crazy question and then followed up by taking a sip of your drink.
Like,
Well, Well, because you're not thirsty. You just was talking.
I just don't, for the life of me, like when she asked her that, and like Britt took it well. So I was shocked by that. Actually, in this scene, other than the beginning parts of with the Kenya, Britt was okay.
Yeah.
Y'all may eat me. They may eat me up for this. They may not. But this is how you can tell that the elevator only stops at the 13th floor for Britt. Because anybody else who was having this conversation after question one, it would have been cut scene. You can't ask no questions like that to no regular woman with at least a couple of brain cells. It's no way in hell. Not even jokingly. They wouldn't do it.
So my response was like, did Ralph buy pussy in Tampa?
So you see
Like
what I'm
what?
saying? Anybody
Like
else would have ate
girl,
her up.
like that, like that's not. Why would it, like girl? What? And then you wanting to get to know me, and that's the first question you ask. Crazy. Go ahead.
That and asking, did you make money off of it?
Right. She said, I think I did well. I'm like,
Well,
ooh,
but then I was
okay.
like, well, girl, what does that mean then?
What is well? But
Right.
apparently Drew, again, we now know, like, seems like it might be a lie. And that Drew said that she recognized the penis or somebody DM'd her.
Yeah, she
and
made
she
that
said
up.
that out loud. Yeah, she made that up. Which kind of makes me think, because you remember, I don't know if you guys have seen like Porsha has a YouTube channel now, and she says that she knows for a fact that a housewife gave Kenya all that information, like a current housewife gave her all that information. So then when Drew says this in this episode, I was like, well, was it Drew? For her to say that, but who knows? I'm still leaning on Ming Lee, even though Ming Lee came out and said it wasn't her.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
But
they basically end this scene with Britt leveling with her and saying, like, you have to understand what I've gone through. I didn't sleep for 3 days, etc. And then Drew apologizes and because she can relate to what Britt is going through, and they agree to move forward. How sweet.
Lovely.
I would just like to say I'm very proud of myself. I'm very proud of all of us because my next one is Drew and Ralph go to court, and I actually have notes.
Yeah, I do too.
Oh, good.
This is the first time I care.
Yeah, Drew and Ralph go to court. All I got to say is, well, I think it's time for Drew to get a new lawyer.
Yeah. She need Porsha's lawyer.
She needs somebody. Hello.
Need Kessler.
I
like. Get Phaedra.
No, not Phaedra.
At this point.
Phaedra couldn't even beat Bob.
Bitch, why did I have the flashback when Bob was running out the court, sticking his tongue out when Ralph was saying, I ain't got to move out, when he had that chant about, I don't have to leave. I don't have to leave. That was so Bob coded. Like, that was crazy. I find it interesting, and this is a question that I have for you guys. The unsealing of the documents. Drew continues to say that she is trying to protect her children from finding anything out about their father. I don't believe that. I think there is something. Yes, I'm sure that there's a lion's share of horrible things that Ralph has done. But there's something in there that Drew doesn't want out that is about her. Yeah. Something that she's done.
It has to be.
And I feel like it has something to do with Ty. Or some girl, something, because her parents are, they're religious.
Very religious.
They're preachers or something like that. So I was thinking that. What do y'all think it could be?
I was thinking that, of course, something to do with Drew. The only other thing I could think of was if there was some kind of abuse situation going on that she may not want people to know or the kids to know. But what I meant to do, which I forgot to this moment, was to Google them to see if I could find them to see what was it, since they did get released. But I didn't get a chance to. But I might have to circle back if I'm able to find them.
Right.
See, and I was so fixated on the blended family, trying to figure out how old the kids was with Angela and Charles. I got sidetracked on fact checking this one. But what I will say is, for me, I do agree with you, Jared, that I do think there is some abuse there. But I also think there could have been some financial abuse between Drew and Ralph. For some reason, there's a reason why he hasn't been able to produce the financial records, right? But they're not sealed. and you know his finance. You guys have been together. He was like your manager or did something there. But the fact that that girl broke down and cried in the car, like she could not control herself, and when she cursed at him, and you could even see where her sister trying to like kind of console her, and she just wouldn't be able to take. There's something out there, like I said, either financial abuse. I think she did. I think they may have had some maybe physical exchange against each other because it's not just infidelity. It has nothing to
Yeah.
do with that. It's definitely something more because why does he want it to be seen and you don't? That's normally the opposite.
Right.
Oh
That's
well,
what I
he's a.
think.
But I think it with him, with people like him, he wants to damage her so badly that he doesn't even care
He
about
don't care
what's
about
said
the
about
burn on
him.
him.
Because he knows whatever that's in that thing that Drew doesn't want out, it's going to. He rather see her in pain, and wants to see her in pain much more than he cares about what will come out about him.
Right.
Yeah.
Because let's be very clear, she's the one with the name.
Mm-hmm.
She's the one that wants to do Lifetime movies or whatever the hell, or put her music out and do all these things. Where Ralph ain't go. This is not gonna stop. In no show, girls are still gonna be knocking on his door. The boys want to knock on his door. Nothing's really gonna change for Ralph.
That's fair.
So the girls are starting to travel to Nashville. Porsha again. Porsha always gonna look fucking good. Jesus Christ.
Push the good.
Shamia's look was interesting. I couldn't tell if I liked it or not. It did give very yeah. Somehow Angela missed her flight. I am loving Angela's edit again. Like I like how quirky they're making her. She's the quirky, goofy one. I'm enjoying that, and I feel like she plays into it. Even if she doesn't know she's playing into it, I feel like she's actively playing into it.
Yeah.
Any thoughts on while they were getting ready or leaving?
No, my only thought was I was like, where the fuck in Hartsville International are they walking up these stairs to get on the plane?
Oh, that's the they were flying Delta. You know, that's the I want to I think it's a Delta One. I can't remember what they call it, but it's basically you get picked up after you do like your bags and stuff like that. There's like a celebrity terminal thing that all the celebrities go to, like a little private area. You get picked up in a Porsche Cayenne, and they literally take you to the fucking on the tarmac, take you to the plane so you can walk up that way. Candy does it all the time. Yeah, it's so they don't have to deal with
The people,
the regular folks. Yeah. Kelly saying that she missed the flight because she saw there was a heat wave and she need to go back and get her fan. Kelly is a mess. I cannot.
She had that damn fan though, didn't she?
Right. It took me out though when Porsha was talking about when they were talking about plastic surgery. And Porsha was like, I ain't doing nothing else. You know, at first these titties was called Coco and Chanel. Now they call Bob and Ben. That shit, I said,
took me out because
took
you
me
know
all the
what?
way out.
You know what though? I enjoyed Porsha a lot. Porsha's a really fun girl.
Yeah,
She's super
Porsha's funny as shit.
Portia's funny as shit. I think her even in this bus ride with them getting on the way to the house was just exciting. And it kind of let them all loosen up. They're not in a restaurant. They're not in Atlanta. They're not in their normal proximities where, their local spots. So I think they all kind of let loose at that moment. Even stank ass Britt, because she was really stank. I don't know if you guys peeped out stank she was between the ride
when they were
and
walking
to the
around the house. Even when they were walking around the house, she had like little stank moments. Like she kept when the camera is not when I can tell that the editor of this episode, she was making faces for them to clock it and they weren't clocking it. Like you saw her making the faces in the background. It was just like, girl, the camera's not on you. No one cares about what's happening with you. So they arrived to the house. The house is everything. You know me on my pro black. I don't like that white man coming saying, "Oh, here's your howdy Henny." Porsha better had asked for that.
Well, thank God
he
for
ain't just
Chef
say, "Well, the
Dad.
blacks are coming, so let me bring out the Henny." That chef. Oh, that was a fine chocolate man. That was a fine chocolate man right there. The food looked amazing.
It looked okay.
Stop! You ain't like the rice.
They looked a little dry. Maybe they needed some sauce. I don't know. They just weren't doing it for me. It
I
looked
mean, but
like
it is Tennessee dry rub, sweetie.
it looked
Yeah,
like white
dry
people
rub.
barbecue. It didn't look like black people cooked it. It looked like white person cooked it.
Oh, okay, fair.
Not
Fair.
Famous Dave's. I'm dead.
Yeah, that's what it was given.
Ooh, yeah. After the tour, they start to eat, and then the assignment of it all comes up. Porsha basically says that this birthday, she spent because their birthdays were so close together, she spent the last 3 birthdays with him. And it's like, girl, it was 3. Well, it was 3 birthday girls. Like, calm down, relax.
That little
Oh,
bit right there kind of blew me up though with the birthdays because when she said the date of her birthday and his, I was like, girl, they 3 weeks from each other. What the fuck are we talking about? Was that only person? Does that only person that cared about that? Did you peep that?
No, that was wild. Like, I think people like with our amount of money, yeah, you do it together, but with our money, y'all just go each time.
right.
Like,
I was
why
right.
y'all celebrating together?
Yeah, that blew me up. Anyway.
But then Britt brings up Angela switching sides. And her examples was that Angela checked up on her. And then in the group, her energy was different because she asked that question about how could you lose your license. Again, she's giving us more examples as to why she has no female friends.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that was just like, girl, she literally has no self-awareness. Like, none whatsoever. Like, that's actually gaggy.
And a diluted view of reality. Because, like,
100%.
what is this that you're getting?
That's fair.
I just, yeah. The Bravo guys better know this is her last season. Then Angela arrives and she clocks that the girls were talking about her, which she was correct.
Absolutely.
And Angela drops the bomb that she would like for Drew to come and lets them know that she anticipates seeing Drew arrive. I said, well, that was gaggy.
Amazing.
Were any of y'all shocked at how well Porsha took it?
A little bit, yeah. I thought she would have a little more smoke, but I can see where she's coming from. Where I'm not gonna let a bitch ruin my trip. Plus, also Portia's a vet, so I mean, to be completely fair, she's like, I know production wanted them to have Drew here, so it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Right, and that's what I was thinking. I was thinking she was thinking of A, let me get my check. B, again, it's my birthday. And she said I can be cordial with someone, and I don't see Porsha. They're not to the point where they're absolute enemies. It's not like Britt versus Kenya. You know what I mean? I can be in the same room with you. I don't even have to talk to you, and I got my other homegirls coming. I don't gotta be with you. Let Angela entertain you.
Apparently, Kelly and Britt ran into Angela at Neiman's, and Britt says that Angela was hiding from them, insinuating that she basically got some work done, which we now know was probably the Botox in the nose. Again, Angela being just with those size 12 shoes, standing 10 toes down. When Britt says, I haven't seen you since the brunch, and I wanted to know you. Like, I even gave you a hug. I want to know, was that even real? That was such a weird question to ask because Angela didn't give you the hug. You gave
her the hug.
Angela a hug. So why are you asking her, is it real? She should be asking you, is it real? Right. But I love how Angela clocked that and said, listen, I'm not fake, so any love that I give is going to be real. I said, the way Angela be just standing on business and the way she do, I said, I'm just loving her energy. She's like a spicy Cynthia.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, she's like a spicy Cynthia. I'm feeling that.
No, I enjoyed that little tidbit back and forth too. And then also, Britt, I kind of don't believe you because I don't see Angela hiding now. That I don't have her down. I don't have her down for hiding in Iraq from you two.
Oh,
I just don't see it. You think she was hiding in Iraq?
I think it was the whole swollen face thing.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's exaggerated, but the way Britt came off was that this girl was literally in a rack full of jeans. And I just don't, and because she also said, I said hi to her first and she didn't. So I don't know.
I mean, I believe that. I mean, of course, I believe that. I mean, Britt put 20 on 10, but I don't think she's all the way lying.
Yeah.
You know? So the women start to get ready. Everyone looked really good. I was really enjoying Porsha's look. We then get on the bus and we meet all of Porsha's friends, her sister, Monyetta. They are really trying to make Monyetta a thing. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. Continue with your Neo checks. Like, just go away from me with this. It's not happening. The girls look like they're having a great time. They ride the bull. Shamia wins 51 seconds. Any thoughts thus far before I move on to like the last part? No? Okay. So then they all sit down for dinner, and then someone basically asks, like, where's Drew? And that's when Porsha basically lets the table know that Angela took it upon herself to invite Drew. And I wasn't feeling Angela's explanation. Because again, it is Porsha's birthday. Yes, we do know production probably made her do it and whatever the case may be. But I still think she should have had a better explanation to say, no, I thought this would be a great time to like hash all things out. No, sweetie, it's never a good time to hash things out on my birthday. I don't want to see nobody I don't like, nobody I don't like, I don't care for, anything like that on my birthday. Like, that's crazy. I didn't like that response. So then Porsha tells the table that she felt like Angela pressured her to invite Drew. And this is what I'm talking about when I just said about having the proper response or the proper conversation around it. Porsha handled that so well in how she said, I felt like she pressured me. And Porsha also played along in that way as well, which made that feel real. But then this is where Porsha up for me. At a table with a whole bunch of new girls that Angela does not know. Hell, even the core cast, Angela really doesn't know that well. And then you basically talk about what kind of glue is she wearing on her wig, and those girls were laughing. I didn't like that. Felt very Mean Girl. Was I alone in that?
No, it felt like, yeah, it was bad. And it just kind of felt like Angela summed it up in her confessionals, like, now that she got your little friends around and, you know, the Hennessy kicking in, now you are doing the most. I didn't enjoy it. But, I mean,
this is like normal female behavior. We can say the same thing as when Shamia came for the retro nose. It's tit for tat. So again, sometimes when people say something, you may have not been coming off on 10, but maybe they're coming off on 10. So when Porsha said, because Porsha had been calm that entire time. So now when it got brought up in the last straw, and then Henny could have played a major part in it, but also you done brought this girl for the last time on my birthday. No,
she didn't bring her up. Somebody else brought her up.
Did. But also
Porsha brought it up, and then somebody else brought up where's Drew.
But she's also telling the story. Well, yeah, if it wasn't for this one right here with all her glue tied to her head, that's why she said that just rolled off the tongue. I don't think it was. Yes, it could be Mean Girl, whatever, but I don't think it was like it's something to die for.
No, that was Mean Girl because it didn't roll off the tongue. She was revving up. And I think Porsha caught it because towards the end of her diatribe when she was going off about that, you notice at the end she started to make jokes and like. Now everybody's looking like, where is she? Like she's making faces and trying to be funny because I feel like she probably saw Angela's face like, oh, did I go too far? Like I just said that was because Angela was not giving that energy at all. I didn't like that. Like that's the type of shit. Honestly, an interaction like that, if I were Angela, I would have smacked the first person that laughed. Not even the person that said it. Like I felt that like it was like these Mean Girls on a trip and you can't leave. Ugh.
Yeah.
Now, this is where it went left, and this is the most redeeming thing Britt has done this whole season. And that is when they bring up, in the same conversation to Drew, and they basically bring up Drew and Dennis, and some random girl, we don't even know who said it, but they basically said, oh, I heard that she allegedly gave some sloppy toppy to Dennis. And Britt says, that was a bit much, don't you think? Most redeeming thing that girl has done. Most redeeming thing. Now, if somebody had said something about Kelly in that moment, if someone had said something about Porsha because she's cool with Porsha, or somebody said something about Shamia, I would have expected her to say what she said. But her and Drew are barely on a good footing.
Right.
And she said that. So I thought that was like, okay, all right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's I'm grasping, y'all. I'm grasping for something
You
good,
are,
y'all.
you
I'm
are,
just
you are.
Well, they
I'm
You're just looking
grasping.
relevant.
they bought it over there, lemon drops.
Right.
Right. And
No, that's a fact.
webcams. So,
Not the webcam style.
so yeah, and fellatio. So there.
Mm-mm-mm.
What can you say?
So
Mm.
guys, I think it is time for our favorite part of the show. And again, I really need to change this. I keep saying it, but I'm going to remember to change the background for this. And that is,
Everybody, just calm down.
girl, just calm down. So for me, this episode, I don't really feel like a lot of people were on 10, but I would just have to say for the unnamed and unshown person that said that she heard allegedly that Drew was Dennis, that's who needs to calm down. The cameras are rolling. You are a no name. Drew does have a name of acclaim. She is actually someone that was known well before she came onto Real Housewives of Atlanta. You just can't throw nothing out there. And just like an honorable mention, I think Porsha should have shut that down.
Yeah.
Because that also says a lot about your baby daddy, not just Drew. Because if he allowed that, like, come on.
Yeah. That's fair.
Right. This week for me is going to be Monietta. I only because I've already seen this shit too many times this season. I thought we were done with her after last season. I have had enough. Please stop putting her on my screen.
Ooh. Well, honestly, Britt's leg needs to calm down. And I'm gonna tell you why. Her leg,
Oh my God.
her leg needs to calm down. I'm gonna tell you why. You can't lift your leg up in front of another man, in front of your husband, and think that you're about to get a new vehicle. Let this be a lesson learned. We now know that you did not drive off the lot with a car. Let this be a lesson learned. Stop. Close your legs. That's it.
No, that I'm not mad at. I'm not mad at that at all. Okay. Well, guys, I hope that you enjoyed this episode of Everybody Just Calm Down the podcast. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. And again, peace.
Bye.
Howdy. Or how do you say it? Toodles? What they say?